Crestfallen. 1. Heartbroken Monologue. Universe of Celestial Half-Light. September 10th, 2570. Humans. What even are they anymore? Sad little flesh sacks in pods with constant screens blasting 24/7 AI slop? Overstimulated with a dopamine tolerance so high that they cry in place of laughter. I can't intervene unless the whole planet is wiped out. I just wish they'd all die so I can come down and fix things. But of course not. The vessels keep them all alive. It's just prolonging the descent of humanity. The worst part is that the vessels don't even know why they're doing what they do. It's just an endless cycle of life in vain. I stopped sending them to hell a long time ago. They don't deserve it. It's not their fault. They don't know any better, and probably never will. If only someone would take a step back and realize that keeping the humans alive doesn't benefit anyone. Then maybe, just maybe, something could be done about it. Maybe one day. But for now, all I can do is sit and watch the heartbreaking downward spiral. September 10th, 2571. A shocking video was leaked to the vessels of Farian. It showcased a small clip of the slop that's being shown to them all day, every day. They had never actually seen what the humans were watching. The planet was split. Some wanted to bring the humans out of their pods and into the real world. Others wanted to straight up kill all of them because there was no point in keeping them alive if all they ever witnessed in their lifetimes was that garbage. Some wanted to cut off their reproduction and let them slowly die out humanely. However, the vast majority didn't care in the slightest and wanted to keep the cycle going. Virexi was in the minority group of the ones who wanted to bring them back to their former glory. It just breaks my heart to see all of Vesselkind not caring for the humans in the slightest. This isn't right, and I don't think they want to have that kind of a life anymore. We literally needed a small clip of the horrors that they were being shown all day, every day, just to even have a fraction of us realize that maybe this isn't what we should be encouraging. If we slowly shut down the screens and introduce them to the outside world, we can redeem them as a species. That's the end of my presentation. All right, everyone give it up for Virexi Divity. Half of the audience clapped. The rest were either zoned out or on their phones. Virexi stepped down from the stage. She walked back to her seat and sat down next to Lizzie. "How was I?" she asked. Lizzie turned her head slowly to face her. "Not the best." "Oh, was I really that bad?" "It's just that nobody cares about the topic you picked. Redeeming the humans? Really? Maybe 2 people looked up from their phones. Besides, everybody knows that Skelder is planning something special for them in a few months. A better option for everyone." "I don't know, the way he talks about it over the intercom. It's not just enthusiasm, it's obsession. Something fishy is going on with that, and I don't trust it." 2. Job application. September 13th, 2571. "Do you have work on the weekend?" asked Lizzie in the shul hallway. "Do I have work?" Virexi replied. "Yes." "On the weekend?" "Yes. AKA, the time for me, myself and I?" "Yeah?" "Of course not." "Oh, you should get one. You're gonna want money saved up for the summer." "I guess I could get one. I don't know what to choose." "Oh, I know. You could work for the human caretakers. The thing I'm actively against. It pays a lot. No one applies because nobody wants to be around the humans themselves. But you don't actually have to, even if you work there. I'll consider it." "You're hired." "Really? You didn't even..." "Look, we're short on staff, and it doesn't take a doctorate to know how to clean the interior of a screen chamber," he said, apathetic. "When do I start?" "Tomorrow." "Okay, I guess we're done here." Bye." Virexi opened the door and stepped partially outside. "You won't be missed." Virexi closed the door before she could react to what he said. She turned around. "Did he just say I won't be missed?" she asked herself. She brushed it off and went to meet back up with Lizzie. She looked spaced out. She was off in a different world at that moment. Virexi approached her. She snapped out of her daze and stood up to hold hands. "So, how'd it go? Am I looking at the newest human caretaker?" "Well, not exactly. I applied for the cleaning service. After they..." She made a decapitation motion with a finger across her neck. "Ah, I see. I'm sure you'll do great." I'll see you at orientation. Wait, where are you off to? Oh, Tyler wanted to meet up at a restaurant to chat. Vorexi cocked her head. He didn't want to invite me or Mark? Not really. Okay then, have fun. Lizzie gave a thumbs up and left. All right, now how am I going to kill all this time? She thought to herself. Just then she felt a vibration in her pocket. Mark had texted her, telling her to meet him in the library. Hold it right there, Vorexi. The librarian stopped her. She had usually only gone to the library to use the charging ports in the wall for her phone. She had never actually gotten a book and was pretty well known for that, so it wasn't a surprise when she got stopped at this moment. Are you actually going to get something this time? Of course I will. You said that the last 62 times. She crossed her arms. Trust me, I will get one this time. If I don't walk out with a book in my hands, you can, she thought for a moment, permanently ban me. That's okay with me. Just don't come crying when someone stronger than me doesn't let you in. She let Vorexi go without another word. She eventually found Mark sitting at a small table surrounded by bookshelves. Hey, Mark! She waved at him. He waved back, and she sat down with him. So what did you want to talk about? He pulled out his phone. Take a look at this video. He shoved the phone in her face. It was a video of a human at a white table with a box. Vorexi could tell he was speaking, but the lack of audio made it impossible to know what he was saying. It was a pretty calm video, nothing even remotely overstimulating. What about it? Notice how it features a human? Yeah. All videos that feature humans were wiped clean off the internet, excluding the ones made by the LAI. The lower artificial intelligence, yes? What am I supposed to do with this knowledge? This isn't LAI. That means that some human videos, and therefore the educational ones, still exist somewhere. So what's your point? If I can sneak into the screen chamber controls, do you think I can find the educational videos and play that for the human? They won't like it. If something is played that they're not used to, they'd go crazy and start screaming. I could slowly incorporate it more and more over the course of several years. It might work, but how would you even get in? Well, I heard you have a new job there, and I was thinking you could sneak me in. Vorexi pinched her hypothetical nose and shook her head. I could get in serious trouble. Please, I have to try. Fine, but if either of us gets caught, I have never seen you before. Got it? Thank you, Vorexi. He stood up. Soon, we won't even need to take care of the humans. You willing to bet on that? Asked Vorexi. Mark smirked. I bet my whole visor on it. Don't get too cocky, she said as he backed away, getting ready to leave. No promises. He left, leaving Vorexi alone with the books. She remembered what the librarian told her earlier. She turned to look at the bookshelf directly to her left. As she scanned them for one she might like, one particular book caught her eye. 3. Shatterdock. She pulled it out and set it on the table. A plume of dust puffed out from all sides. She wiped more dust off of the front cover to reveal its name. Shatterdock. It had barely been touched. The only thing that had touched it was time. The pages were yellow with age. It was about a team of scientists trying to figure out what to do with the critters. They were in constant REM sleep, but were experiencing only nightmares for some reason. Some wanted to wake them up. Others wanted to end their misery and let the Shatterdock take over. A couple of them wanted to let them die of old age, and then the Shatterdock can take control. But the rest wanted to keep them alive, yet still asleep in the nightmare. The head of the team thought otherwise. He believed that they should destroy all of them, the critters, the lab, and the scientists themselves. He believed that the Shatterdock could only help when they're all gone. No one knew why he believed this, and when he announced his plan, they panicked. One particular scientist sought to stop the head scientist. She sneaked into his office where he was working on his solution to the problem. 2 of her partners followed her in. They saw the head doctor working on something at his counter. All of a sudden, something from the table exploded into flames. A piece of shrapnel flew into the first partner's eyes and blinded him. He screamed in pain. The head scientist's clothes caught fire, and he fell back onto the second partner, turning them both into nothing more but a burning lump of mass. Something jumped out from the fire on the counter. It sliced open the protagonist's abdomen and began pursuing the others in the lab. She collapsed to the ground, coughing up blood. She then saw the Shadowdoc. He looked sad. Her last word was, "Fix," before she blacked out from the loss of blood. Vorexi closed the book with a thud. Somehow more dust came off of it. She could see the individual particles dancing in the air. She blew gently, and they scattered around. That was a lot darker than I was hoping it'd be. She looked at the clock on the wall. It was ticking rhythmically. 7:32 p.m. Multiple hours had passed. Man, I really read that whole book all at once? She stood up and stretched. She inserted the book back where she found it, but then remembered that she had to walk out with one, so she kept it. September 14th, 2571. Now, if you'll look over the safety rails, you'll see the millions of uniform segments of chambers. Many have compared it to an extremely old movie called The Matrix. In case you haven't noticed, there's a void of fog down there. This is done on purpose, and it's used to make this place look sadder and smaller. Now, where are my low experience employees? Several of them raised their hand. You five are going to stay above the fog zone to avoid any accidents. Now, the two most important rules. If you uncover a giant mess in a screen chamber, don't be afraid to ask someone for help or use the walkie-talkie to call for assistance. And the second is that he paused. He looked extremely annoyed. The faint whirring noise of someone sleeping could be heard. Vorexi was standing right next to him. "You there," he exclaimed, but the guy didn't respond. "Green hair, wake him up." Vorexi made a fist and banged him on the head twice. Only then did he jolt awake. "Huh? Is it over?" he asked. The guy looked even more aggravated now. "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you bored? Did I bore you? Just get out. If you're gonna do this, you can do it to someone else." "But where's the—" "Leave." He gave Vorexi a side eye and turned around and left. The instructor took a deep breath and sighed. "As for the rest of you," he stepped to the side, revealing the cleaning supplies. "Come up here, get some of these bad boys, spread out, and get to work, people." Vorexi just finished her first chamber. It was really difficult to clean. The walls were covered with this sticky white stuff. At least it was over. Hopefully the next one won't be so. She noticed someone at it, and it looked like he was having trouble opening it. She walked up and said, "Hey, you need any help?" He stopped what he was doing, but didn't turn his head when he spoke. "Did it hurt?" Vorexi was taken aback. Did what hurt? When you fell from hell?" Her jaw dropped. "Excuse me? You got me in trouble. I didn't do anything to you. The instructor saw you sleeping and told me to wake you up. Then he told you to get out. Speaking of which, how did you get back in?" "He let me back in." "I'm sure he did," she said it skeptical. The guy punched in the wrong code to the door once again. It made a disappointed beep, and he got more aggravated. "Oh my God, you stupid piece of shit. Just let me in." He tried to pry it open with his bare hands, but to no avail. "Well, looks like you're doing fine on your own, so I'll let you get back to it." Vorexi turned 1800 and started speedwalking. She finished the day with not much else happening. 4. Curve. September 15th, 2571. "Okay, when we get there you'll follow me, get supplies, blend in, and when you see an opportunity to, sneak away." "Got it?" Vorexi instructed. "Yeah," Mark replied. When she opened the door to the catwalk, she figured she should try to follow the edge this time around. She grabbed what she needed and headed towards the east side. It took about an hour of walking. Every few minutes, a strange noise echoed from below and reverberated through the whole dome. When the edge was finally in sight, Vorexi let out a sigh of relief. She started work on the first pod, but when she punched in the code, it didn't open. She tried again, still nothing. She figured that it still had a human in there. However, no noise was coming from it, and the light was green, meaning no one was in there. Still, she didn't want to cause any trouble, so she moved on to the next one further south. It had the same problem, then the next, and the next, and the next. She kept going until she was sure she was at the equator by now. This time it was different. Where a screen chamber usually sat was the entrance to what looked like a something. What are you doing here? Asked Lizzie, startling Borexi. I could ask you the same thing. I didn't know you worked here too. Well, you never asked. And yeah, I'm chamber maintenance. All the pods along the edge have broken doors, she said. Borexi cleared her throat. Good to know. She turned back around to the corridor. So what's this thing all about? I'm not sure. I've only seen it once before. The two stood just 2-ish meters away. Borexi tried to take a step forward to explore it, but Lizzie stopped her. Wait, this is the Great Curve. If we go any further, that would mean us going out of the dome. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? Us getting in trouble and losing our jobs, she replied almost immediately. Borexi's enthusiasm dwindled. Well, if something goes wrong, my death will be caused by something sharp. How's that? Fine. She crossed the line and entered the corridor. See? Just like I told you, nothing gonna happen. In an instant, a door shut behind them with a loud crash. Mechanical sounds came from within that sounded like it locking itself in place. It was dark. Then, dim red lights flashed on. Then the TV that they hadn't noticed before lit up. A message from Skelder himself played. Citizens of Farian, it has come to my attention that there has been a divide among us. The question that nobody can agree upon the answer to. What should we do with the humans? I have a solution. Some may not like what I'm about to say. That is why I've completely locked all entrances to my office. As some of you may know, I've been working on this solution for the past few months. Its completion is nigh. When I release this into the rest of the dome, it will destroy everything that moves. And that includes you, vessels, and that includes me. Its name is the Yeversauer. We have become too smart, too lifelike, too conscious. If we want celestial half-light to fix things, this is our only means of letting him. By now, all of you are panicking. That is because you failed to realize what I have. We have 2 hours remaining. Ha 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 ha! The screen shut off. Screams could be heard from outside the bulkhead. I think we're in Skelder's office. Lizzie and Borexi both banged on the inside, trying to get someone's attention, but their attempts were in vain. Somebody, help! Borexi screamed. She collapsed onto the floor, her face scraping against the door the whole way down. She lay limp on the floor in defeat. Lizzie sat down next to her. Hey, maybe. She paused. She stared at the red lights. They reminded her of the time Skelder used to visit everyone. The time no one knew of the horrors that the humans were watching. If we're going to die in 2 hours, maybe we could try to find Skelder and convince him that there's another way? They both sat there. One would even say that they were just wasting time. Soon a familiar face could be seen walking their direction. It was Mark. What was he doing here? Lizzie, Borexi, what are you two doing here? Mark, said Lizzie. Mark looked over at Borexi. Borexi, I hope you know that you're looking hella submissive and breedable right now. Borexi realized what position she was in and immediately sat up straight. If she were a human, she'd be blushing hard right about now. Sorry. Mark, she gave a nervous laugh. What are you doing here? You let me sneak in to change what the screens were playing, remember? Oh, right. You let him in? Do you have any idea how much trouble we'd be in? Lizzie jumped up. Borexi stood up with her. It doesn't matter now. Everybody out there is in a panic frenzy. Lizzie sighed. You're right. Wait, why's everybody panicking? Mark asked, confused. Well, since the door's locked, I guess our only way now is forward, Lizzie said. Lizzie, wait. Do you really think that going deeper is such a good idea? Yes, and you're coming with. She started into the dimly lit corridor. Borexi reluctantly followed after her. Mark caught up with Borexi. So, going deeper into what exactly? Shut up. What you saw earlier was all you're gonna get. We'll see. They began to explore the place. As they went farther in, the lights stopped being red but remained fairly dim. There were so many empty rooms. Why did he need all of these? What was he doing with them? Then Borexi saw another room that had something. Guys, come check this out. They both came over to see what it was. A small, lonely table sat in the middle of the room. On top of it was this weird metal object. It almost looked like an egg. Lights along the side pulsed to the top of it, and a low humming came from it. What could that be? It looks like a, "How did you three get into my office?" said an extremely deep voice from behind them. 5. Daisy, Daisy. Vorexi turned around to see Skelder staring back at her intensely. His pupils shook, or one would say, darted everywhere. How did they not hear his hundreds of legs? "Guys, run!" They scattered. "And it begins, rabbits!" There were 3 of them, and only one Skelder. He could only seek for one of them at a time. Vorexi hid under a desk in a different room. She didn't know what was going on outside. There was loud banging, screams of people she didn't recognize, hissing gas, and the, now, audible stamping of each and every one of Skelder's legs. Then it went silent. Then she heard something crawling through the vents. It was Mark. He punched out the filter thing, crawled out, and came to Vorexi. "Where's Lizzie?" he whispered. "I don't know. I thought she was with you." Vorexi replied, "She went into the vents and I followed her. Now I don't know where she is." Then suddenly there was a loud thud followed by a scraping across the wall behind Vorexi. Mark bolted away, leaving Vorexi alone. She couldn't piece together what exactly was going on behind her, but she knew it wasn't good. She heard a bang. She heard a crack. She heard a whistle. She heard a door open. She heard the steps of his mechanical feet. She heard a desk get knocked over. More clanking, and then another, then another, and another, and then, "I found you! Rabbit!" Mark screamed as she assumed Skelder grabbed him and took him away. Even though she thought Skelder was gone by now, she still kept extremely quiet. Then she heard Skelder slide the door back open very slowly. She now heard his footsteps. They were extremely quiet. How was he able to do that? He seemed to be looking for Vorexi. Then the footsteps stopped, and for the first time ever in these installments, someone sings. He began quietly. "Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage. But you'll look sweet." Vorexi saw his 2 pincers slowly creeping to grab the edge of the desk she was under. Upon the seat, of a bicycle build, they clamped tightly on the desk. For a blaring alarm disrupted his chilling song. The claws let go and retracted back up. "Ah, fuck, it's already almost done. You got lucky, rabbit." He slithered out of there, singing a twisted version of the song that was interrupted. "Vorexi, Vorexi, can you betray your friends? Enter my office and it will be your end. They will not survive, but you will. Until the Yeversaur's first trill, but you'll look great upon the stake." Sticking out of my bloody wall, he was finally gone. Vorexi crawled out, her legs shaking. "Where's Mark?" someone whispered. She yelped and turned around. She realized it was just Lizzie and hugged her. Okay." Vorexi pulled back. "I don't know. I think Skelder took him." "Oh no. We have to find him. Before Skelder does, God knows what, to him." They ran into the main corridor. It forked at the very end. Lizzie went left and Vorexi went right. She walked alone for a while before finding a mostly empty room with a wall covered in blood and a large metal spike sticking out from it. She breathed through her teeth. She turned around and was jump scared by Skelder at a desk in the room across from her. She ducked behind the frame. She peeked around it. He was doing something with the same pulsing egg thing from before. He was singing another song. This one was different, however. "On the farm, every Friday. On the farm, it's Rabbit Pie Day. So every Friday that ever comes along, I get up early and sing this little song. Run, rabbit, run, 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 rabbit, run, run. Bang, 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 bang. Goes the farmer's gun. Run, rabbit, run, run. After he stopped singing, he did the strangest thing. I guess Vorexi breathed wrong because he snapped his head almost completely backward to examine the door she was in. She ducked behind the frame again and covered her mouth with both of her hands. How did he know? She thought to herself. At least she now knew why he called them rabbits. 6. Trilling. She sat against the wall for a long time, pondering on what to do. Then she heard thumping coming from the vent across the hall. One after the other, they almost sounded like crawling. The sounds grew rhythmically louder until she saw Mark's hand grab the vent from the inside and push it out quietly. Mark crawled out and stood up to reveal that Lizzie was also in there. "What is it with you two and vents?" asked Phyrexia in a whisper. Mark shrugged. "Where's Skelder?" asked Lizzie. "In there." She pointed to the doorway on her left. "What do we do?" Mark asked. "We need to stop him from finishing the Yaversaur." Lizzie peeked into the room. "There's 2 levers on each side of the room that say self-destruct. It could be a way to kill it, though I'm worried about how much time we have left," she said. "Lizzie and I will sneak up and pull them. Phyrexia, you stay back for emotional support," said Mark. "Okay." The 2 did as Mark said they would. Phyrexia watched from inside the room, yet closer to the back. They both grabbed their levers. "It's done!" A huge explosion of fire burst from the desk. A piece of shrapnel flew into Mark's visor, sending him to the ground in agony. Skelder shrieked as the flames engulfed him. He fell onto Lizzie, taking her life along with his. Then a black silhouette arose from the fire. It made a trilling sound and jumped straight toward Phyrexia. It struck across her chest. She flew back and hit her head against the wall behind her, hard enough to give a human a concussion. The Yaversaur left the room before she could even tell what it looked like. She lay there in pain, the fire slowly spreading. She looked over at Mark. He was bleeding from the spot on his visor where the shrapnel hit. Bleeding? He had blood? They had blood? Why would they need that? Did she have blood? She examined the wound on her. Yes, she did. The question again taunted her. Why? Then the line from Skelder echoed in her mind. Too lifelike. She couldn't question it anymore. She coughed as her vision started to blur. Her eyelids were heavy. Just as they closed, there was a flash of light, and a figure appeared. It was Celestial Half-Light? She was the last one alive on the entire planet. Her eyes finally shut. April 5th, 2572. Phyrexia opened her eyes. She did not think that would ever happen again. Her vision was still blurry. There was a constant and steady beeping noise. She stood wherever she was for a really long time. She felt around for the giant gaping laceration across her chest. Nothing. She stayed for another very long time. A sudden sound blasted her to full consciousness. Her vision cleared, and she could see where she was. It was a much brighter and happier corridor. The guest will kindly follow the orange line in the floor to the check-in zone. Phyrexia looked at the speaker on the ceiling. She examined the floor. There was in fact an orange line. She did as the speaker said and followed it. It led her to a counter with an angel behind it. "Don't you look just a bit different than the others?" "Let's see here." She skimmed through the pages of a book. "Phyrexia J. Dibity, you are to head to room B in the hall to your left and sit in the closet seat to the entry door. Unless, of course, if you'd want to try to become one of Celestial Half-Light's favorites. That's in the door to your right. 7. Favorite." She nervously stepped up to the door on the right. It slid open to reveal a platform and a black void. She stepped out there. There were no lights, but somehow she could see. You can quit at any time, but remember that once you do, there's no coming back to this place for 1 sextillion 111, quintillion 111 quadrillion, 111 trillion, 111 billion, 111 million, 111,111, 111 trillion, 111 billion, 111 million, 111,000, 111 millennia, said a chipper voice from a speaker behind her. "What am I supposed to do?" she asked. "Figure it out, maggot." The door slid closed. There was a keyboard piano at the very edge. Phyrexia walked up and pressed the A key. Lights lit up in the distance to form a frowning face, and an awful-sounding chord played back to her. It reverberated throughout the place. She glared at the speaker. "What now? Pay attention, blighter, or you'll be lost forever." Phyrexia looked back at the lights. They formed a sentence that read, The beginning note you are looking for is 3 keys lower. She placed her finger on the A key again and slid it down 3 times. It was a G flat key. She played it. The same note played back to her from the distance, but it was on a lower octave. Then she remembered a tune she had hummed while cleaning the chambers. It started with G flat and used only the black notes. She played the first bit, and they echoed it back. Then she played the second part, and they repeated her. She played the first verse again, and it mimicked quicker this time. She played the next bit, and it replayed again. Then she played the second part again, but it played with her. They harmonized, dragging out the last note. Then silence. She stood there for a minute before, "Wow, that was mediocre. If you ever need a flying platform, give me a call." A telephone appeared next to her. She picked it up and put it to her ear. "It's about time, liverwort." The phone and keyboard disappeared just like that, and a platform rose up from the darkness. "The screen will show you a picture when you're halfway there. Make sure you look directly at it. That way the image will stay with you forever." The word forever echoed out. Vorexi contemplated just staying and maybe seeing what was in room B. "What's the holdup, dense bunch of silicon and steel? Started rusting in your pussy clanker?" Vorexi finally stepped onto the platform. It started carrying her forward. "You won't be missed. I've been told that before," Vorexi replied without looking back. She floated away until she couldn't even see the speaker that kept insulting her. Soon a screen floated up in front of her and spoke. "You're almost there. It's time for you to see the picture. It's a LAI-generated image of you with this happy, deceased vessel." Vorexi locked eyes on it. The screen displayed Vorexi cuddling with Mark. His face was elongated and distorted. It looked like it had been through extreme temperatures and melted. His visor had 2 deep holes with bloody human eyes staring back at her from within. "Oh God!" The screen flew away wobbly. The gates opened and a flood of light flashed Vorexi. It grew brighter as the platform she was on approached. Soon she crossed the event horizon and closed her eyes due to the blinding light. When she opened them next, she was in a place that could only be described as a paradise. It was a spherical cave with plant life thriving and tons of fauna. She was on a shelf of some sort. It appeared to be the 3rd floor. She peeked over the edge and saw human children playing in the waters below. The adults stood off to the sides. A single light source came from the very top of the sphere. It was a small hole no wider than 2 meters, yet it lit up the whole place. Whatever was out there must be extremely bright. She looked for a way to get down to the others. "What are you doing up here?" said a human who Vorexi did not realize was up here with her. "You know, it's more fun to watch the kids from the 1st floor, where you have to avoid getting splashed," she recommended. "I'm sorry. Its excess water is not too good for me. Or my kind. What are you even doing up here? Shouldn't you be taking your own advice?" asked Vorexi. "Oh, I'm done for the day. Plus, the 3rd floor is where all the best tasting fruits are." She picked one off of a vine and took a bite. It was so juicy that it looked like a miniature waterfall coming right out of it. She picked another off of it. "Here, try one." She tossed it to Vorexi. I can't eat physical food. I'm a vessel." Vorexi politely placed it on the ground. The woman eyed the fruit Vorexi placed on the floor. Suit yourself." She started circling the 3rd floor, but, "Hey, wait, how do I get down to the 1st floor?" "Oh, just use the elevators." She directed her to a strange plant structure that acted like a modern elevator. "Thanks." Vorexi made her way to the 1st floor, where she stayed to the side. Suddenly, wind rushed in from the hole in the roof and whistled. All the people stopped what they were doing and gathered in the center. All the plants gave off a mystical glistening sound. Vorexi, wanting to see what was happening, stepped into the water very carefully. Nothing happened. She was fine. Vorexi felt relieved that she somehow became waterproof. She grouped with the others. A stream of water shot out and up, completely filling the opening in the roof. It became dimmer in there. The place was lit up by the plants, giving it a soft golden glow. One by one, the humans swam up the stream of water. "What's going on?" she asked. "It's story time," said a kid next to her. "Just swim up the water." Vorexi did as the kid said. When she emerged, what she saw felt very comforting. A grassy field with a tree on a hill and a blank white skyline. There was a soft breeze. All the humans gathered under the tree, so Vorexi followed. Down came Celestial Half-Light from nowhere. He sat down on a rock that was in front of the tree. He raised his hand. Before we begin, all in favor of light mode, raise your hand. A few people raised their hand. Vorexi did not. All in favor of dark mode, raise your hand. The rest of them raised their hand. Vorexi did not. She did not know what light or dark mode meant. I agree. It is much cozier on dark mode. He clapped twice and the sky went dark. The tree lit up with the same golden glow as before. There were fireflies in the grass fields surrounding them. You may climb the tree now, children. 3 of them scattered up it, and they sat on the branches. Where's the storyteller? One of them asked. He's busy. He should be available tomorrow, but I'm what you got for tonight. Anyway, tonight's story is one you haven't heard yet. It's the story of how one brave Lizat named Siren overcame the divine. He continued on, but Vorexi spaced out. She thought about other things. She guessed that this was it, the afterlife. This is where she would spend eternity. She thought about Lizzie and Tyler and Mark. They would probably not make it here and instead be in room B. She could only hope that whatever was in room B was bearable, because eternity was a very, very, very long time. The thought of Mark reminded her of the image that was shown to her. That was going to stay with her forever, wasn't it? She did look directly at it, but it didn't matter too much, because she knew that the humans killed by the Yeversor would, at the very least, have ended up in room B, and also that she really wasn't just a bunch of silicon and steel. But then she looked at Celestial Half-Light. He didn't look all that happy, despite Skelder's plan having worked, allowing him to fix everything. She assumed that he was still sorry that the humans had to go through that at all. He wasn't just sad. He wasn't just heartbroken. He was Crestfallen. Crestfallen by Sib-Zero-I, DINO&CreepY.